so you've got screen visible, you've got your non-slip mat, something or other, you've got a blanket or a cushion, something will be a pillow, something that might support you when we come to do the bridge. So I love the purple ball. But you might also have a yoga block or the dictionary. Something rectangular and solid. So just allowing the body to settle in. Imagine you're coming to a regular yoga class, just getting into that state of mind. But we are thinking today a little bit more about connecting with the feet and connecting with the hands to get the messages right down to the extremities. So join the feet, stretch the arms out to the sides. I'm just going to put you on mute. If you need to say something, just press your space bar or the unmute button. Okay. Relaxing. If you're using a pillow, blanket or cushion, get it right underneath the neck, back of the head, and tuck the chin down a little. Spread the fingers wide a little. Deliberately pressing the fingernails down into the floor. And the tendency is to have the arms quite high. Let's bring them to angle down towards the hips slightly, so the hands are lower than your shoulders if you're looking from above. And then the breath starts to settle. So just adding awareness to the neck. So the inhales are more expansive, the exhales are slower, less hurry, feeling of letting go. Keep pressing the heels together, bring the arms up overhead, interlock your fingers, press away through the palms. So pressing the arms in towards the sides of the head. And then we bend the elbows out wide, knuckles onto the crown of the head. Keep them there so the little fingers are rotating towards the crown, elbows are pressing down and back. If the pillow, blanket or your cushion is now in the way of that opening up of the shoulders, just take it out to the side. So elbows descending. Still got the little tuck of the chin though. As you exhale, straighten the arms. As you inhale, bending again, elbows wide. Exhale, press away through the palms. Inhale, bend the elbows. Last time, exhale, straightening. And then as you exhale, arms all the way down by the hips. Now keep your lying position and cross the arms over the body. So up towards the ceiling, right arm slightly on top of left arm, and then you give yourself the tree hug. It's the starting position of eagle deity arms. So elbows are crossing, fingers are sneaking around towards the shoulder blades, but we're still in Baddha Konasana legs. So just let the arms hang there for a moment using gravity. This is why we're doing it lying down to start with. So elbows cross over more. Fingers dangle towards the floor. And you can keep them there or finish off the eagle deity arms. So forearm to forearm, palm to palm if you can, elbows press upwards, lengthen the neck, relax the shoulders, shoulders down away from the ears. press the elbows together, press the palms together. So really gluing elbow to elbow. Now that was right arm on top. Release that position, stretch the arms out to the sides. Go wide, fingertip to fingertip, big distance. Let's do the other side. Left arm on top, cross over, dangle the arms at first. So for some people, that's quite a mild stretch. Can feel it really just where your tricep connects into the armpit. Just let the hands hang. And feeling the difference. Is this easier? Is this still tight? So like I'm still feeling on the right hand side even though the left elbow is on top. Just pay attention how it's going for you. And then forearm to forearm, lift the elbows towards the ceiling, cross the wrists as well. And it's an option to do that. As the elbows press up, shrug the shoulders back down into the floor and away from the ears. Feet are still connecting, knees descending. And then let the breath in again, stretch the arms out to the sides, fingertips going wide. And let's come around and forward. So rolling around, I'm going to clear the mat. Come into Tadasana forward. Beautiful. All right, so knees are wide, sit back on the toes. Now at the start the toes are pointed. We'll tuck them under in a moment. Reach the arms halfway out along the length of the mat. Sitting right back towards the heels. Pull the hands slightly towards you, shoulders down, front spine long. Spread the fingers even more deliberately than usual, and especially the first and second fingers. Think of the little sort of bird feet. Make a V there, and come all the way forward. Tadasana, child's pose, or Tadasana. Keep the palms spreading. Come up onto the fingertips, so you're cupping the hands. Piano playing position. Let the head come down. Feet right on the fingertip. Pressure down all 10 fingertips. And then we reverse that. Flatten the palms. See if you can keep the palms flat but bend the fingers away from the floor. It's Thai dancing. And keep the arms strong, tuck the toes under. Now we're going to bring the knees in slightly, take the feet wide slightly, and you might reach around and get those little pinkies to tuck under. Bring the head back down. If you can, knees walk towards the feet, so you're compressing that distance from the toes to the knees. Push the floor away. Arches reaching back. Now if your toes don't like to tuck under, that's fine, just keep them pointed, but walk the hands back up and it's a sort of semi-kneeling position. Now if the knees don't like it, just come up with the hips, but what we're looking for is the toe tuck. Now, if all those things are just too squashy, you can sit on your support instead. But just have a moment with the floor helping you to tuck the toes under. And it might be just right through the arches of the foot that you feel that. That's the kind of position some people would do well with their runners on. And we're all in bare feet at the moment, so we're going to just come forward into a Tadasana. Hands down, straighten the legs, walk the hands back, and hang. Could have a little bend on the knees, first thing in the morning or first thing on the mat. Take hold of the elbows. coming back down to the floor, fingertips to the floor, descend through the knees. This time the toes are pointed, so sitting on the heels. Tadasana pose, we're sitting on something. In the moment, we're sitting on the heels. And you have the option of lifting the knees up. Now, at the top of the feet, just say no. You might even just come to high kneeling and lean back that way for the knees. But if possible, knees are lifting. Roll the shoulders back, look up slightly. So it's the opposite stretch to the top of the foot. Toes are pointed. And back into Uttanasana. Hands come around the front. Tuck the toes under. Very good. And we're hanging. Fingertips to the floor this time. So you might need to bend the knees. Plant the fingertips. Let the head come down. Tuck the elbows in towards the knees, shoulders away from the floor, up towards the ceiling. So you're still, contacting with the fingertips, all 10. And then roll your way up to standing. Roll the shoulders around and down. Beautiful. Same roll but with the fingertips on the shoulders. So I'm going to bend the elbows, bring the fingertips up, and then roll big circles with the elbows. And go the other way. If you feel a little bit, or hear a little bit of grinding, that's okay. There we go. And let the arms calm down. Good. Alright, so you're standing up the front of the mat. You're going to be having the mat stretch out behind you. You don't need any other equipment. Let's keep it simple with the equipment. And I'm just going to rock forward onto the toes and back onto the heels. Little kink of the knees maybe just for balance. Obviously you don't want to, no backflips. And keep that rocking going. Close the eyes. Oh, makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe have a little peek through your eyelashes. But keep the rock forward and back. And then just settling over the arches. The body really, really wants to stay steady, doesn't it? Okay. Let's salute the sun. Palms turn out. Inhale, reach high. As you exhale, fold forward. Fingertips down. Inhale, look forward. Now we're going straight to plank. And you can step or jump back. So if you're going to step, you would just brace the arms and one leg at a time. Press back through the heels, straight to plank. Then lift the tailbone, downward dog. Return to plank. Tuck the tail slightly. And then we're going to step forward. So you might lift the hips a little bit. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Use this space. Very good. Left foot steps forward, fold over the legs. Inhale, reach out wide. Come all the way up. Look up, fingertip to fingertip. Go back down, arms wide. Relax the shoulders as you come down. Fingertips touch. Inhale, look forward. Press the palms. Might be left foot back first this time. Plank. So nothing else really changed in the upper body. Then downward dog. Feel the difference? Much more for flexibility. Plank is more for strength. Shoulders back to plank. Left foot steps forward. You might lift the hips a little bit. If it doesn't go out all the way between the hands, that's okay. You can repair it later. Right foot steps forward. Fold over the legs. Reach out wide. Up. So this is where if you didn't step all the way forward, you might now come to the end of the mat. Alright, further this time. Exhale, hands wide. Fingertips touch. Palms press. Right foot back to plank. Left foot. Then lift back to downward dog. We're going to bring the knees to the floor. Come into 3 cat stretches. Inhale, lift the back of the head and the tail, rounding. Come and go with the 3. Tuck your shirt in. Over the body. Wants to approach cat stretch. Okay, and then you'll be at the all fours. We're coming down onto the chest. Hands are slightly forward of the shoulders. Tuck the elbows in. As you lower down, chest touches first, then the tail. Hands are under the shoulders. And inhale, little rise up. Going easy if you had a little break from your yoga. Bring the head down. Back to plank. Tuck the toes. Press your way up. Are we all pausing in plank? Maybe. Downward dog. And this is where the right foot will step forward. So stepping between the hands or halfway up the mat. Back leg strong. Left foot steps forward. Fold. Inhale, reach out wide. Tall. Very good. As you exhale, down we go. Second half of the second pair. Inhale, look forward, palms, left foot plank, right foot plank, and lift the tail. Bring the knees down. This time it's sideways cat. So from the all fours, lift your ankles and sort of swish your salmon tail. Left and right with the ankles. So knees are on the ground. Ankles are crossed. Cross the ankles the other way and add the head movement. So you're looking around towards the ankles. Return to the all fours. We're going to come down onto the chest. Elbows tuck in. Lower. Point the toes. Little rise up. Little Bhujangasana. Shoulders relaxed. Spread the fingers. Bring the forward back down. Can we go to plank on our way to downward dog? Tuck the toes. Lift. Core strong. Very good. And swing back. Downward dog. Establish the pose. Left foot comes forward. Stepping. Right foot comes forward. Fold. Fold down. Now step the feet as wide as the mat. Little toes out to the edges. Take hold of the elbows and hang. Here you got the option sway. I know Leah loves this one. She does it beautifully. Sway from side to side. Elephant's trunk movement. And settle in the centre. Keep the feet wide. Inhale, come all the way up. Still holding the elbows. Feet are as wide as the mat. Very good. And then side to side in the standing position. It's a simple side bend. Hips one way. Elbows across the other side. You might be feeling that more down near the hip or even right up armpit area. Couple more. As you go to the side, look down towards the heel. Curl through the neck as well. Last one. And then you're back to the centre. Keep the feet wide. Take the hands around behind you. Loose interlock. Loose interlock or palms together as well. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, look up. Knuckles reaching back behind you. This is a slight back bend. Lift up through the front of the thighs, front hip bones lifting. Zip up through the front spine and be moderate with your neck position. And head back to the centre. Relax the arms. And we're going to face the long edge of the mat now. Beautiful. Good. That's it, Jenny. You got your chair. I'm happy to see that. Okay, so we're in Tadasana. And I don't want to be headless. Let me back a little bit. Right, so in Tadasana, mat stretch out beside you. Just got some nice fundamental standing poses. So sometimes it's not, complicated sequence, not what you do, but just allowing the body to settle into the pose. It doesn't have to be complicated. We've been doing quite a lot of balance in these classes. Today we're just keeping it really stable down through the feet, so feel the contact into the floor through both feet. And then slightly grip with the toes. So if you were standing on a towel, it would wrinkle slightly. It's as though you're trying to pick up the pencil with the toes. Keep that slight grip. And that helps you lift the arches, get the length all the way up through to the crown, arms drifting around behind you. So they're slightly behind the midline of the thighs. Press the palms to face back. So if there's a wall behind you, palms facing the wall. Still got the toes active. Lifting up through the inner thighs. And as the palms pretend to press back into the imaginary wall, activate your upper back muscles and shoulders even lower. Bring back that chin tuck we had before. And close the eyes for a moment. Toes active, spine lifting, back of the neck long. So the awareness more deliberately down to the tips of the toes, tips of the fingers. Looking straight ahead, open the eyes. Very good. We're going to jump wide for triangle pose. Bend the knees, set your fingertips, jump wide. Turn the feet to the right hand side. Right foot turns completely. Left heel away. Zoom out with the arms. Reaching into triangle. Right arm extends across. Reach, 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 reach. Bring the right hand down. Somewhere along that front shin. Some people take it to the floor. Top arm lifting. And it's that jazz hands excuse me, effect on the top arm. So we're going to reach, spread the fingers, especially first and second finger. Now you might like to just look down towards the right foot or look all the way around and bring that top thumb into view, looking up. Still, and as you spread the fingers, even the palm is stretching. Lift the toes on the right foot and then stretch them out and down. That's the front foot. Very good. Coming up, wide stance, feet to the front, feet to the left hand side. Check the stability of the foundation of the pose. Reach out through the arms, front leg stays straight as you extend across. Triangle, positioning one arm above the other, positioning the shoulders above the front leg, stretch out through the top palm, check your neck position, but in all times keep the slight chin tuck. Can you see the top thumb? And it's familiar pose, just let the body settle in, but then one thing to do, lengthen out through the left toes and bring them down. And feel the legs supporting you. Yogalates. Reach up through the top arm. Inhale to come up, feet to the front. Bring the hands down to the hips, bring the circulation back in, but turn the feet around to the right. We're going to warrior two, so slightly lengthen the stance. Hips face straight ahead towards your long edge. Arms out. Turn the palms up. Thumbs reaching back. So go wider hand to hand towards the wall behind you. As you exhale, bend the front knee. Keep the arms wide, keep the palms reaching. So you're balancing candles on your palms. Looking towards the right hand, looking out over the fingers. And you're still spreading, getting energy right down to the fingertips. Let the tailbone move across towards the right hand side. And relax the shoulders one more time. Beautiful. Palms still facing up. Straighten the front leg. Feet to the centre, feet to the left-hand side. Keep the front leg straight for a moment. Tuck the shoulder blades in, thumbs travel back. So as the arms move back, really open up through the pecs, collarbones. Exhale, bend the front knee. Just warrior two. Looking along the left palm, stretch the fingers back. Real sense of descending towards the ground. Left knee peels back. And the palms are flat. You would be balancing something. Virabhadrasana 2. Press the front heel, coming up. Feet to the centre, palms down, walk in a little bit if it's too wide for the jump, and come back into the centre. Very good. Relax the arms down by the side, but roll the shoulders forward, up, and back. 3 in each direction. Ginormous circles. When you're ready, round the other way. Takes time. And relax them down. Okay, so we're going to jump wide again. We're coming into lateral angle pose. When you're ready, bend the knees, stretch the fingertips, jump wide. Turn the feet around to the right hand side. Wide stance, back arms strong, right toes in line with the mat. Exhale to bend the front knee. So we go via warrior two. Reach into the right arm, forearm down onto the thigh. Fingertips reach down towards the floor. Stay in this high position while the left arm does 3 circles. Jenny F, you're going to park that on the shoulder, yeah? So don't overdo it. The body's consistent. Alright, so big circles, and if you're doing those 3, and if it's good for your shoulder, bring the top arm right over. If you want to go lower, you can reach down and hold the right ankle. So just keeping the equipment out of it in some ways. Looking up, long through the whole left side. Now we're going to turn to face the right foot and come back to the lunge. So top arm comes down. It's a bit like when we're finishing off the salute, but just pause there for a moment. So right foot's out the front, bring the hands to the front knee and come into warrior one. So I went from warrior two into warrior one. Looking down the short end, arms are reaching. Now bring the arms to the horizontal, reach them back further. Thumbs are just slightly lower than the shoulders, fingers bend back. And you're feeling the stretch down the left calf as well. Now we're going to step to downward dog before we do the other side. So hands come down, step back, downward dog. Partly a resting pose, partly. Steady there for a moment. Slow down the breath. Walk the feet a little way forward and then walk the hands back towards the feet. I'm going to roll up through the spine, keep the knees, roll your way up. Roll the shoulders around. Very good. Let's just do the other side. So once again, knees facing the long edge. Find Tadasana. Find mountain pose. Just have a brief rock forward and back, just so you can settle over the arch. So your feet might feel a little bit more alive. Hope so. And then relaxing in the centre, finding the point of balance, lifting up through the crown. Gazing straight ahead. We're going to jump wide, bend the knees, fingertips. So it's time to go to the left-hand side. Left foot turns out completely. Wideish stance. Via warrior two. Bend the front knee. Come down onto the forearm. Left palm faces down towards the floor. Go easy on the right shoulder or big circles. whipping past the, past the nose. And when you're ready, that top arm, very good. We'll reach over. If you want to go lower, you're going to reach down towards the left ankle, looking for a straight line through the right side. Turn the belly button up towards the ceiling. Look up if you can. Conscious of what the arches of the feet, palms of the hands are doing. I'm going to turn towards the left foot, top arm comes down, you be back into the lunge position. Front leg strong. Make sure your left foot is, your right foot is over on the right side of the mat. Bring the hands up to the front knee, and now in warrior one on the other side. Reach out through the arms, take them wider, lower than the shoulder, just a little bit, fingers bend back, deep bend on the front knee, shoulders low. And we're going to step back to downward dog. The hands come down, we're coming down and we're staying down. Pause in downward dog. Now if you need to, just come down to child's pose. We'll all be there in a moment. But if you can, 6 breaths in downward dog. And each breath a little slower than the one before. You're counting the 6. When you've done, or when you need to, come down to a tight child's pose. Tuck the nose, hands around by the ankles. Okay, a lot of people doing that now. All right. Let the shoulders slump. Imagine each vertebrae, especially through the lower and mid-back, getting a little bit of length away from the ones around it. So each vertebrae lengthening from the one above and below. And we'll do back to downward dog just to roll over the feet. So once you come up into downward dog, you're going over the top of the foot and back again, one at a time. The shoulders will come forward to plank, and there's a little bit of pressure on the top of the foot. Because we're in the standing position now, you get to sort of vary it quite a bit. Over and back. Advanced technique, I didn't see rest today, but over the top of the toes, perhaps to both at the same time. Then you'll be in that crouch, knees just above the floor. But just be gentle on the toes, perhaps travel one at a time and then end up in both. Okay, couple to go. Not really the season for walking on the sand, is it? And can't get down there anyway, so we've got to keep our toes moving. Now when you're ready, come down onto the knees and coming down to lying. Right, so all you need is the mat and you, no pillow. Now I'm going to take the legs just straight up towards the ceiling. So you've got the mat under the head, you've got it stretched out behind you there. Arms a little spread out to the sides. Take the feet up. And as you know, knees are above the hips, but you might have a little bit of a bend on the knee. Straight legs is good if it works for you. Feet hip width apart. This is a small abdominal work, small amount of work for your abs, but you'll bring the belly down, lower back's flat to the floor. There's a tendency to sail the legs towards the head. Just have them, quite upright if you can. If they reach away from you slightly, your abdominals will work that little bit more. Now keep the feet hip width apart, point the toes, flex the feet, and come and go between the two. So fully pointing, draw the toes back, and about half a dozen forward and back. Keeping the feet hip width, flex them now and bring the big toes in to touch heels wide. So you've gone pigeon-toed, sole the foot straight up towards the ceiling. You might feel this right down at the top of the foot in the hip joint. Do the opposite, heels together, toes wide. Go as wide as you can through the toes, so you're sort of V-shaped. And then come and go between the two. Big toes touch, heels touch. We've still got the legs vertical. Come and go. And then back to hip width, circles, and it's a bit like old-fashioned windscreen wipe, you know, going in one way, both going to the left. You can do inward and outward circles if you'd rather. And then both go to the right, change direction, whatever you're doing. This can be a little bit noisy in the ankles. There's no pressure on them, they're just sailing up there in the air. And flex the feet, drive the heels up, hug the knees, bend them now, wrap the arms around, curl the head and shoulders forward. So head's coming up off the ground, knees are coming towards the armpits. Keep that leg position, let the head go back. Now if having the head up like that is a strain at all, put something behind the neck. And it would be a high pillow. You know how we used to put the block there in the good old days of classes? Alright, so you might need to support the neck. If possible though, it's just the hands supporting the head. Feet are hip width apart, and you're going to drive them straight out at 45 degrees when the legs straighten, and then bring the knees back in. Power away. Now we're going to keep them hip width. It's not really about, you know, straightening the neck forward. And if you need to make it easier, you just go slightly up towards the ceiling, higher with the heels. If you like to make it stronger, a little bit lower as the heels press away. Straight out, straight back. And yeah, that angle, higher, you know, being easier, is a really good way of varying it. Keep it intense, but not too difficult. If it's too difficult, you won't enjoy it. Assuming you're enjoying it. And bring the knees in. And come into the lying twist. So just make space beside you. Shift your hips to the left, because we're going to twist to the right. Right leg out straight, left leg over. Help with the hand. Let the right toes fall to the floor. And if you wish, straighten out the left leg, support it. So the thigh stays where it is, the shin kicks out. Left shoulder down. Let's go the other way. Bend the left knee. Centralize your hips, feet flat to the floor, and then hips go to the right as we twist to the left. So you position them over to the right hand side. Right knee comes over. Right shoulder down. Straighten out that top leg. Toes drawn back. So you're breathing mostly into the right side of the rib cage, compressing the left. And rolling around onto your front. Very good. Okay, and when you're on your front, your arms will be doing a snow angel movement, but you're lying on your belly. So, space beside you. Legs are out the back. Forehead just hovers above the ground. So if you were sort of in the superhero flying position, forehead is just up. Arms raise, Rotate them around behind you. Palms face upwards as they sit beside the thighs. Keep the head up. Arms reach forward. Rotate the palms to face down. Come and go. As you reach the arms behind you, the chest comes up a little, but it's mainly a shoulder movement. Arms are fairly straight. Coming and going. Reach. And finally, arms around beside you. Arms out the front. Fold. Rest the head. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. And then bring the legs together, knees touching, feet touching. Start there, and they'll drift in a moment. Bend the right knee, reach around and hold the right foot. Rest your head down. Right hand to right foot, or possibly both. So both hands to the right foot. And one leg. Bring the heel in close. Mel, I know you love to lift the... Anyone who loves to lift the knee, go ahead and do that. But otherwise, the knee just rests down. Let's swap sides, straighten out the right leg. So, legs together to begin with, because the left knee tends to waft out. Reach around and hold the left foot. Rest the head. Would you like to do both arms? The lower back unclenched, relaxing. Lift the knee if you like it. Maybe not. So as long as you're feeling the left quad lengthening out, left knee reaching away, then we're in a good spot. Okay, straighten the legs, back to forward rest, back to child's pose. Knees are wide. Walk the hands around to the right. Bring the right hand up onto your tail. Keep reaching through the left arm. If you wish, right arm can stretch up towards the ceiling. Quite like to keep it bent. And let's return to the centre. Go to the left hand side. Reach the arms. Walk left now. Right arm stays strong. Left hand up on the tail. Turn. Would you like to straighten the arm? And as you come to the centre, roll your way up to sitting. Beautiful. Alright, now it's coming up into shoulder bridge. You might be supporting yourself. You might be just easing your muscles. If you've got the right thing for under the hips. Shoulder stand's an option. But we're talking about the bridge. We're talking about sort of under. See what Max wants to do. Okay. Support yourself to the side for a moment. Bend the knees so much you can stand on the longest finger nail, just the end of your longest finger. That measurement works for most people. If it means you're bending the knees too much, then just spread it out a little. Alright, tuck the shoulders, feet are hip width apart, toes are slightly pigeon-toed, slightly turned inwards. Press down through the heels, lift up through the hips. Walk your shoulders under more. You can keep the palms pressing or actually interlock underneath the hips. There's a feeling of the shins drawing back towards your shoulders. Keep the work in the glutes moderate. So at the moment we're lifting with hovering the hips, no support. One more breath here. And then releasing the arm position, roll the spine down. And then you can come up and hold that with the muscles, or even nicer, put the support under your sacrum, the ball, the block. A basketball is quite good. And as you know, I've got the option of keeping the knees bent or straightening the legs, maybe in between. Reach the arms overhead if it's not too much stretch, and relaxing for a moment. Keep the energy flowing down to the feet and the hands. And if you're on a ball rather than a block, you can swish the hips from side to side. Three more breaths, supported bridge, or finishing off the shoulder stand if you're there. Any last tension in the body, acknowledge it, breathe it out. As you exhale, arms come down by the sides. If the legs are outstretched, bend the knees again. Just slowly here. So once we take the support out, the hips will stay up for a moment. So you lift the hips, remove the support. Moderate height. Don't just let the hips thud to the ground. Moderate height. And then lengthening through the lower back. Let the hips come down. Feet as wide as the mat, knees wave, relax, twist, knees to side to side. We're going to come around into sitting, so roll around to the right hand side and coming up. So you need the support underneath the hips, cushion, folded blanket, you know the thing. Legs stretched out, we're coming into Janu, but just for a moment, pause in Dandasana, which means legs stretched out in front of you, fingertips around slightly behind the hips, once again that right up on the fingertips, shrug the shoulders down, little chin lock, Jalandhara Bandha, and draw the toes back more, feet are together, they're parallel, point the toes more, make them cramp. Draw them back. Heels together, toes out wide, little toes down towards the floor. Ish. Some people find that easy. Opposite now, feet hip width apart, turn the toes inwards, but it's as though they're flat to a wall. And that's that inward roll of the thigh. Come back to straight legs. Okay, so right leg stays straight, left knee bends. Bring the knee back further. You might need to adjust your sit cushion. So right leg is out straight, left knee is bent, or prop that up if it's hovering. Right hand to the floor, left arm up high. We're going to reach across and do extra twist to the right hand side. Look under your right elbow. So half a twist towards the right leg. Undo that twist a little bit and just lengthen out over the right leg. Fingertips to the floor or flatten the palms, let the head come down. Right arch reaches away, left knee extending back. Lengthen the spine out and over. And then a little bit less effort, a little bit less trying. Soften into the pose. And then lifting the gaze, looking out beyond the right foot, reach with the arms, extend through the fingertips, reach high, almost a back bend. Very good. And bring the arms down. Let's switch it over. Dandasana. Left leg stays straight, right heel draws back. Turn the blanket if you need to. So your hips have turned back to face the left knee to the center. Left fingertips out beside the knee, right arm up high. And lengthen all the way through that right arm. Start to twist, and the straight leg can have a little bend on it. Look towards the left elbow. Turn the shoulders more. Just preparing for the pose. And then look down towards the left shin, hands either side, and come into Janu Shasasana. Pressing with the hands to help you turn towards the left leg. The very next thing will be relaxation, so just soften here in the forward bend. Long, slow breaths. Lift the gaze, look beyond the left foot, reach out through the arms, extend up tall for a moment. Very good. And bring the arms down. Excellent. Time for relaxation. Isn't that good news? Use the pillow. If you do have something, you can roll a towel or a blanket into a spine support, even better. So this is just a blanket off the pile, but don't make it complicated. If you did have the roll behind you, your bottoms are on your bottom's on the ground, and then the spine will reach back. Now you might do a layer. Maybe not. So once you're there, just pay attention to the alignment of your spine. Tuck the tail, shoulder blades fall either side. Deliberate with the hands at first, fingers spreading. If the pillows are high enough, you'll get that natural chin tuck. And then we've just got 3 last twirls of the feet, so you're making circles. Perhaps the heels slightly so you can make a free circle, and then the other way. Let the feet fall out to the sides, and then same with the hands. So bend the elbows, forearms point up towards the ceiling. Just the same movement really, but with the hands. And then go the other way. And then let the arms rest down. And deliberately with the breath for 3 long, smooth breaths. And out through the nose. Slightly noisy in the back of the throat as you breathe. Shoulders descending, legs heavy. breaths deepen. When you're ready, rolling to your right, resting on your side for a moment. Open the eyes slowly, deepen the breath. When you're ready, gently releasing. Oh, snuggly blankets.